KT Raw. KT Raw Executive Director Coordinator.
Hello.
How are you, love?
I'm okay. How are you?
Mustn't grumble.
If you did, no one would care.
Ah, fuck, who gives a fuck? Right. Natalie, are you there? If you are, we can't hear you. Right, 2 o'clock.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
There you are. Have you been here before?
No,
No. Okay.
no. I recently done the training in Middlesbrough with you.
Did you?
I
Excellent.
did.
Nice to see you. How did you find the
Nice
training?
to see you. It was excellent. I loved it.
Oh, okay, here comes Belly. Sorry, you enjoyed it.
It was excellent.
Okay. What was excellent about it?
It was just fantastic. I love the way you delivered it. You got everybody engaged and everybody just blossomed over the 3 days. You just seen the transformation in everybody.
Okay,
It was
great.
great.
All right. So what we're doing with Recovery Connections going forward next Wednesday, yep, we're going to just
Yeah,
have Recovery Connection stuff there. So you're going to have your own one. Yeah. So
brilliant.
just so everyone's slotted in, because it's been quite difficult trying to get people to come back in.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Hello everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Ruth, to see you again. Bally, to see you again. Yeah. On a Thursday morning we run the Lero training, and this is systemic wellness practitioners. So essentially, this is for people that have done the 3-day training. And now, how can people take the coaching skill back into their workplace environment? Yep, and use it for their roles. Okay. The recording is being recorded and streamed. If at any time somebody wants it stopped or deleted or not recorded, let me know. And if we're talking about sensitive information, try to keep it anonymous. And if that happens, I'll just delete the recording anyway. So this morning's call that happened like 5 minutes before the end, and it's like, oh fuck, okay, we got to let it go. And psychic safety is the most important thing, and confidentiality for everyone. Yep. Cool. All right. So Katie, why don't you start the check-in, seeing as you're an executive director?
Thank you, David. I am checking in. This morning, I was absolutely buzzing, feeling I've done some great work, really progressive. And then about 20 minutes ago, some fucker always puts something in the works, doesn't it? So I still feel I've accomplished good stuff, but I also feel annoyed because someone has fucked that up. So that is how I feel. I will pass on to Natalie. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I'm checking in good. I've just came from a volunteer awards event where I got nominated for an award. I didn't win, but it was lovely to be there. And the best person won. She's excellent. She's like a volunteer paramedic, works with a paramedic. She's wonderful. So yeah, I've had quite a nice day.
What's your role at Recovery Connections? You're a volunteer.
Volunteer, yeah. Hoping to apply for a job.
Okay, great, cool. Who are you tagging?
Ruth.
Thanks, Natalie. Yeah, I'm good. I enjoyed this morning's session. Looking forward to see what this one's all about as well. And I'll tag Olivia.
Morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good. Been busy packing and stuff. Yeah, apart from that, and I've banged my head,
Oh no.
which is not good.
No.
It's not good. I'm going away tomorrow and I've banged my bloody head.
Oh no.
You fucking headbanger, you.
I am, yeah. Getting too excited. But yeah, I'm good. Anybody else needs to check in?
Bally needs to go.
Belly?
Thanks, Olivia. I'm checking in as all right. Yeah, same as this morning. Just I'm all right. Not too bad. And I'll pass back to David.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm very pleased. I had my universal credit interview, fucking assessment, whatever, And literally what happened, the person spoke me through the form and said, click that, say no, say no, say no, click submit, say yes, say no, you're sorted. And me, I'm there with all my bank statements printed out and fucking highlighted every single thing. And like, I swear, I thought I was going under fucking forensic audit investigation. And all I'd done is I clicked something wrong on the system. Yeah. And it's just made me think that the amount of people that must go through this sort of stuff and the amount of stress it must cause people. And I'm quite tech efficient. Like I cannot imagine my mum doing this. I mean, she would shit in her pants. Literally, like she did in Aldi the other day. Poor thing.
Mm. Yeah, lots of people come in asking that in the unit. They keep asking for help because they just don't know what to do.
The digital skills it's becoming a barrier, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what to do. We don't know what to do, and then
Completely overwhelmed.
They've got to do that housing, like council, like it's just so much for everybody, you know.
Okay. So in your organizations working with volunteers, Katie, how do you skill them up with tech skills? Yep, so they can help other people navigate the system. Well, the first thing you need to do is sort out your own technology and get your microphone working because we can't hear you.
Them to get a little bit more. Oh,
Okay,
am I sticking?
We
Did I
missed all that. It was
Shit. Sorry. Sorry. My internet's a bit shaky today. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not great with tech, but I encourage our volunteers. We meet weekly on Zoom, so that helps anyway to familiarize themselves with that kind of stuff. But we also have people who are quite competent in that field who help the volunteers. We also have someone on board who works for Citizens Advice. So actually they help them with a lot of stuff as well. We can pass them on to that. We just have a number of people spotted about that can help with that, but it's definitely something we want to do more of, digital upskilling for sure, because it's needed today. It really is. I have enough trouble with it.
Okay. So where I want to go with this conversation is with recovery coaching, you don't necessarily have to be working with the participants of your service or something. like IT skills or housing skills or IPS people, if they learn these coaching skills, it's better for the organization and the culture because the roles can talk to each other in hopefully in an adult to adult conversation. So let's stick with IT for a bit. Yeah. So I worked in IT support for many years in the bank. And banks have deep IT systems. Yeah. So like Tesco's or something has quite a shallow IT system. They have point of sale systems, they have a database. Banks have back office, front office, blah, blah, blah. And I was definitely not the best technician. In fact, I am not an IT bloke at all. Yeah, I'm a blagger. Yeah, I say I can do something and I fucking work it out and then it says, ta-da! Yeah, but I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But what made me very good at IT was not the fact that I was good at IT, was the fact that I was able to handle the relationship of somebody in crisis that was feeling overwhelmed by the technology, and the way that I interacted with them wasn't like the other IT guys. The other IT guys would go, oh, fuck, this is easy, just do this. And oh, that's stupid. And fucking, have you plugged it in? And their attitude was shit. Yeah. So I always got good recognition. Yeah. And people always thought I knew what I was doing because of my interaction with people. And that is so important. And because of that skill set, I became a key person. I became a dependable person that people wanted around. So when it came to contract renewal, people always said, we can't live without David. We need David. Yep. Even though I wasn't the best technician. Does that make sense? The shadow side of that is, the downside of that is because of my insecurity. Yeah, when people came along to fix a system and make it stable, I got scared that people wouldn't need me. Yep, and that I'd lose my job. So my insecurity in the organization lived off the dysfunction of the IT system, and I secretly didn't want to fix it. So in your organizations, yep, where is that secret part that like we want the clients to stay sick so we can keep our roles? Does that make sense? Yep. And I couldn't help thinking of all the people in Universal Credit going, just click this, and this. Yeah, because we need our jobs. Yeah. And this person I had the interview with had scheduled an hour-long session. Yep. Within 5 minutes, it was over. So now they're sitting there fucking, yeah, I got an hour off now.
I'm really laughing because I so relate to that. I
Good.
am the classic blagger. I can talk people into or out of situations. I can work things out. I have those people skills, if you like, to be able to do that. I absolutely do. But that often covers a lot of things that I can't fucking do. And that the shadow side, I think more for me is I get caught in that I'm the only one who can do this. I need to be working with that person because I'm the only one who will be able to implement the changes and help them do that. And I've really got to get out of that mindset. So yeah, I totally get it. I'm there with it.
That's quite a bump you got there, Olivia, huh?
Thanks.
Everyone's just focusing on the bump.
Yeah, well, you can't miss it. I mean, like, I mean,
You
you look
can't say
Hindu.
that.
I was in a shop and they said to me, "Do you want a plaster?" And I said, "Do you think I'm going to put plaster on top of my head?"
No, you need a bandage and wrap around.
Oh dear.
Did you get the job? Have you applied for the job? What's happening with the job?
They're still waiting. They haven't taken it off yet, so they're still. The waiter is really slow at doing it. They're like, I probably won't hear anything until the end of June. So, which is quite good because I'm really busy until the end of June.
So, how many organizations post a job because they have to post a job once a job's already been filled?
Yeah, that's what's happened. Another trainee, a guy, that's gone. Now he's been employed. So that's why trainee places come up. So, yeah, just depends on how quick they want to do it.
Okay. Who's going to take over the container? I got to go pee. I'm bursting. Sorry. Go on. Who's going to take it?
Oh, for fuck's sake, I will then.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to what David was saying, does everyone else have that feeling? You know, I'm very open about that. There's lots of things I don't know, but I'm good with people. I can get the best out of people. I do know I have that skill. So I do use that to my advantage for sure. Does anyone else do that?
I used to a lot. Because of my mood and motivation, I don't anymore. But I used to, like when I had the prison charity job, like it was when I think back when I put myself, I was the first employee. I grew it from one prison up to like three, and then my CEO was like, "We need to recruit." I was like, "Yeah, we do because it's too much for you, Bao, to do all of this as one person." And then we put an advert out. I wasn't happy with anyone. And then I remember saying to my CEO, I'm not taking anyone on. Like, I'd rather just do it myself. And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, I'd rather do it myself than because it was going to be such a instrumental hire. Like, I needed the right person. I just wasn't happy with anyone. And then, yeah, so for another 6 months, I just literally ran myself into the ground because similar to you, I was like, look, there's no way I've built that bond with that person. I know that person's sort of intricacies and their whole history. And I just had this belief that nobody else would be able to do it. And so I have to do it. So I was doing like 80 to 90, maybe 100-hour weeks. It was ridiculous what I put myself through. But it all came from me not being able to hand it over to anyone. And even when I did have to take a week off, and I remember at that time I had to hand it over to the CEO. I was like, I didn't even switch off for the week because I was that like, oh my God, they're going to mess that up, or they're going to mess that up. And then I think when then people did start to mess stuff up, when I did take somebody on and relationships that I'd like spent years building up or a couple of years building up, and then between the person that I took on, and she was really good, but she was still new in the role, between her and my CEO, they were causing issues between people within the prison. And I was like, do you lot understand how hard it's been for me to build this relationship and build that trust in you lot? Just so then that would just kind of reconfirmed to me that I can't hand anything over to anyone because everyone's going to mess it up. But so yeah, so I definitely used to be that guy, but now I don't give a fuck about anything. So so now it's like whatever.
No, I love that. And I can, because I was the first employee in our organisation as well. So very similar thing to that. I am getting better with handing things over, but it yeah, it's a control thing. It's a me thing.
It's 100%. Yeah, it's 100% a control thing. Is it like? But I've always been like that, and I think it is a me thing because my expectations need to change. That look, other people might do it in a different way, or they might do it and it doesn't, but then I can get very sort of anal about it, that it's got to be done this way and it's got to be done that way and it's got to be done that, otherwise you're not doing it right, and then
I think, and I completely agree with what you said. You know, someone can make the slightest, perhaps, cock up, the slightest, and then it's, see, no one else can do it. No one else can do it. I might as well do it myself.
exactly. Just give it back to me. Fine. I just won't sleep for the next 2 years. It's okay. It's fine. I'll just do it.
So that's something we really have to work on in our field. Something I really have to work on in that field. You know, I have to remember, actually, I'm still in many respects quite an unwell person in my head, and I need other people to check that out. I need to be accountable to it.
But then I also think what David said, I see what he's saying as well. I think subconsciously we build those kind of systems, and we put so much emphasis on the way Bali does it, is essentially to, as a protection measure, to make myself indispensable, to say, you lot can't fucking cope without me. Like, you lot won't get anything fucking done. You need me here. There's no way that, you know, my role can ever come in question. I think subconsciously there's elements of that going on.
So I just want to, you're lagging, Katie. I just want to just change Katie's language where she said unwell. I don't think you're unwell at all. This is
No.
very normal behavior.
Yeah, that was a very
Well,
glib comment. Apologies, David.
Oh, glib's a big word. Fuck, what does that mean?
What, glib?
Yeah.
Off the cuff, maybe not quite serious, maybe not.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Because very professional organizations with top tier people in it who are very, very well behave like this. Yep. And we must be careful with the recovery lived experience lens that we take a normal dysfunctional behavior in a workplace and connect it to our personal mental health and recovery.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's very normal to do that. It's very normal to do that. Okay, there's another thing that, and I'm going to stay with the IT stuff, is that you can get IT guys that are very technical, very, very good. And because they're the best at the job and a management role comes up, they get promoted to management and they get completely fucking overwhelmed because they don't know how to manage people. Yeah, they feel uncomfortable with it. And so they go back to fixing the problems. Yeah. And then the role of management falls through the cracks. And the IT systems, the risk continues because the knowledge isn't being passed on to the new workforce. Yeah. So where can that happen in lived experience organizations? Where somebody goes up the ranks, yep, they're no longer a volunteer coordinator, for example, and they become an executive. But they're so fucking busy running around looking after the volunteers that they drop their fiduciary duties as an executive. I don't know if anyone's in the room like this, but
I think from where I could see where that could happen is if somebody had. So, for example, I'll use the example of the charity. The person whose idea it was to launch a recruitment company for prisoners was a serving prisoner at HMP Birmingham. And it was his idea and it was his brainchild. So once I went in, he still had a few years left on his sentence. He had like a 15-year sentence, which he had to do half for. So he was going to be released in 2022. So when he got released, to carry the story on, it made sense that he would come and work for us because it made sense. But he's just spent the last And he was a switched on person. He was, but he's just spent the last 7.5 years or 8 years in prison. You know, we've got an office in Birmingham. He lives in Manchester. You know, he's got his family to reconnect with. He's got to just readjust to life and everything. And as much as it was a good move to kind of bring him into the company to sell the story that now John works for us, blah 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 blah. If let's say he, and because of the exposure that he was getting in terms of telling his stories, so going on podcasts, going on talks, going on air, you would see that it would look like a natural fit to continuously promote him. But is he really in the right place? Or has he got the right experience to manage a bunch of people when he's got his own life to manage? And that's, you know, he's got to try and put his own life together. So I think in those instances where someone's lived experience and exposure and spotlight could look like, oh, we've got to make this guy the main guy, I could see that happening in lived experience companies.
Lots of it happens. So people's stories get abused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can get people can be vulnerable, not know it, and their stories can be used in a way that's sounds good on paper, but in practice it's a good idea. And if you say this is a bad idea, people just project onto you that you're a spoil sport. Yeah. So there's that. And then I wanted to say that the other thing is that when people to buy drugs now, yep, you can log on to the internet, do a transaction using cryptocurrency, yep, go on to Telegram, meet someone somewhere, use your GPS tracker to meet them, and there's a lot of tech skills that people are actually very sussed on, yeah, if the motivation is there. But actually, they just don't want to do that part of the job. So they avoid that and say that they can't do it when actually they are capable of doing it. They're just not motivated to do it.
So are you saying, David, that if we have a client that comes in to us and they're asking us to help them out, it would be best practice to kind of go, let's sit together and you do it and I'll sit with you whilst you're doing it. So you're not taking control.
What's the answer to that question?
Yeah, because you're not taking control. He is, the person is, the client.
So from a coaching perspective, you're trying to empower people. Yeah. When you're mentoring people, you're trying to teach people what to do, but allow them to do it themselves. And when you're consulting with people, you give them several options. Yep. And then they can decide which one to do. Yep. On this training, we're just looking how coaching can help build relationships with the different role players in organizations. Yep. So I could have given you a whole load of answers now, but I didn't. I just sat back and said, well, what do you think? What do you do to give you the space to come up with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I'd take it a little bit further and say the way that you interact with the people that you're serving, you use the word client coming in, yeah, it's very different from the way that you work with your colleagues.
Yeah.
So generally, I think what the path is, people volunteer, they become ambassadors, and then they get jobs. What's the path in your organization, Bally?
Sorry?
What's the path in your organization?
What, in terms of promotion?
Well, do you guys have volunteers at Epic?
No. So
Okay.
I don't think so. I think no, everyone's a paid employee.
Okay. Katie, you've got lots of volunteers, huh?
Yeah, we're mostly volunteers. There's only 3 members of staff.
Okay, so you've got 3 members of staff.
Mm.
Natalie, at Recovery Connections is like 160 staff now.
Not in Hartlepool. I think there's 6 staff members in Hartlepool.
Are you from Hartlepool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know Emma then?
I do.
Great.
I do.
Cool. So Emma's journey was volunteered ambassadors, and now she's got a job there. Yeah, a part-time role. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's and it's wonderful to see because none of this stuff was there before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to say is DBS checks. That is a fuck up, huh?
I've had about 20 of them because childcare, working in schools, like going into volunteering, just anywhere you go to, it's like you have to continuously do a DPS. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, did you know that if you have a DBS, once
Yeah.
again, update service, okay.
Yeah.
Did we know what?
There's an update. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's an update service. So if you get your DBS within 30 days, if you register on the update service, you don't need to keep doing it like every 3 years. It's just done.
Yeah, that's why I haven't done.
Yeah, you have to pay £13 a year to do that.
Yeah.
Don't do what I did and do the update service and then change your bank and forget, then you're not on the update service anymore.
Yeah. What about things like personal liability insurance and that?
I had to do that for child minding as well.
Yep, I have to do that for my own coaching practice.
Yeah.
Katie, what insurance do you have in your organization?
We have public liability. I don't know exactly actually because it's not my thing, but I know we have it because it's just been renewed because obviously we have to. Yeah, I think it's public liability.
So paperwork is where most organizations fall over, except for organizations that provide administration services.
But that's where sometimes, I mean, we, not with the really official stuff, but we utilize and, sort of talking about motivation, how to motivate people in their roles or what they're doing, whether as a volunteer or as a client or something, is to actually give that responsibility. So, if there's that crap that I don't want to do, and I will jazz it up as something. How would you feel about taking that as your responsibility? If you feel responsible to do that, do you feel ready to? Blah, blah, blah. And actually, that brings the motivation because if someone feels they've got a purpose and a responsibility, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? Always has done to me. Plus, I get someone to do something I don't want to do. I sound like a proper manipulator, don't I? And that's really not the case. But
Well, it is the case.
All right, it is the case. I hold my hands up.
No, but much rather own it.
Yeah.
I mean, as lived experienced organizations, it's certainly our charisma as a leadership skill gets people to come and do work in the organization, which is unpaid because they like hanging around. So there definitely is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a turd in the punch bowl again. Ruth, guide us how organizations could be more supportive around neurodivergence and administration. Because that's your speciality, huh?
It is.
Great.
I hope. So I was talking earlier on about making small proportionate changes within the workplace, starting as reasonable adjustments, ensuring that these are put in place right at the beginning, right at the very beginning, find out what needs people have.
What does that mean?
So, for example, I'll use myself as an example. I've got misophonia. I've ADHD. I've got misophonia, which means I can't stand noise. Monotonous noise drives me up the wall. So finding out what people's needs are, what their requirements are, and try to put things in place as long as it is reasonable and it's sustainable for the business. Putting it in place for your employees or your volunteers. For example, like for myself, I wouldn't have needed my own office or to work from home a couple of days just so that I could chill from the monotonous tapping on keyboards, for example. If they're dyslexic, because dyslexia also comes under the neurodivergent umbrella, make sure that you've got the correct coloured paper that you can put over the screen or over the hand or over a book so that they can read the words. But it's different for everybody, so you just need to ensure that whoever you're speaking to, their needs are met. I'm trying to think of other things now, David. You've put me on the spot, and I'm not very good at speaking.
No, Ruth, don't come with your shit. You're very good at speaking.
I'm not. I can write, but I can't fucking speak.
You're a highly competent person.
Mm.
So, and I'm not taking away from the challenges that goes with that. And I relate to a lot of it. Yeah.
So also other things that companies could do would be training around, for me, my specialty is neurodiversity, is having training in place for people who don't have a fucking clue what it is. There's so much sort of ignorance around it at the moment, or as it stands. So just train people so they can see, somebody with autism isn't being ignorant, they're not being blunt. Somebody with ADHD isn't overpowering. Yes, they may be, but understand that they can't actually help doing what they're actually doing, and make it go a bit more in depth, how words might make them feel, just a lot more understanding around it. And to understand that actually it's not just autism and ADHD that are neurodiverse. You've got dyspraxia, dyslexia, dyscalculia, OCD, all of that falls under it. And saying shit like, oh, everyone's a bit ADHD, or saying I'm a bit OCD because I like to turn my light switch on and off before I leave the room, is not the case. Learning the language, the correct way to speak to people, having policies in place to ensure that if everybody else has to adhere to policies like behaviour, then the entire corporation, wherever you work, also has to adhere to that specific one surrounding neurodiversity.
And what's the tension around that? So yeah, so to give you an example, in South Africa, because of the huge disparities and because of apartheid, there's legislation for Black economic empowerment. So there's real pressure on businesses to bring transformation into the workplace from a diversity perspective, from a race perspective. Yeah. And the idea is that you've got to get so many Black people, so many colored people, so many Indian people. What people don't understand is there are 11 different languages. So there's Zulu, Xhosa, Tswana, Sotho, Pedi. There's a whole lot of different languages there. So everyone gets put in a bucket, and that's, oh yes, we're meeting our quota. Yeah, so everyone comes from that bucket. And when you were talking, there's dyslexia, dyspraxia, dysmorphia. What were the other words?
Dyslexia, dyscalculia, dyspraxia, OCD, ADHD, and autism. Then autism's a massive spectrum anyway, and ADHD can also be a bit of a spectrum as well. Depends on what kind of ADHD the person has. What pisses me off about the UK is they've got what's called disability confidence. Have you ever seen that on people's email signatures?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So it basically means that they are sort of well versed in disabilities and that they are a disability confident that they can adhere to everybody's disability, pretty much. It looks good, but do the fuckers, like most of them, even have a clue what it is? Like, they don't bother. Like, they say, oh yeah, we can do this, we do put things in place, when actually they do the bare minimum. Or they put sort of these reasonable adjustments in place when it's too late.
So how pissed off are you right now this second?
I'm all right. Not more than usual. When we talk about it, I do get rather riled up, but it's the way of the world, and that's what I want to try and change a little if I can.
Okay. So Craig was talking earlier about his passion coming through and being people assuming that he was pissed off.
Yeah.
So maybe I made a mistake there. Maybe I confused your passion for
Yeah.
being angry.
Yeah, absolutely. I just get really passionate. I do get frustrated around it because like I see the effects, I know the effects on myself of when I'm not being managed correctly, or if people don't understand the effect it has on you as a person. It isn't just a little bit of anxiety, it isn't just a little bit of, oh, I know better for next time. It actually stays with you, and it's like added to that extra scar that you've already fucking got that's already been ripped wide open about 100 times. It takes a long time to sort of come back from it, and again, your motivation goes. So yeah, I'm passionate about it because I don't want like my children, for example, to have to continue to grow and be faced with the same ignorance that I've had to face for the last 43 years.
That's really powerful, and actually that really feeds into and helps me a little bit. You know, I said at the beginning, you know, I'd had a good day, but something really pissed me off. And actually, I've been working with a lady who recently was diagnosed as autistic, like a late diagnosis of autistic, and very recently ADHD. She was engaged with a treatment service and it wasn't working out because she found they was just telling her to drink less and she was just lying because she couldn't be honest with them, blah, blah, blah. So I've managed to build up quite a good relationship with her over the last few weeks and discovered actually it was a bigger problem. She needs a detox. So I referred her back into services. And she had a phone call from that service today from that man who said, well, it says on your referral thing, you didn't find it helpful last time. Why don't you find it helpful? And she was on the phone to me in tears saying, I'm fucking nervous enough about this as it is. And now I don't want to go to my appointment.
And that's something else as well. When you ask the question, like for myself, like I said earlier, I'm not very good at speaking. I already know in my head now what I want to say, and I will stumble over my words. And it doesn't help in those kind of environments. You shit yourself. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm going to blurt the wrong thing out, and I'm going to make an absolute dick of myself. And then the RSD starts all over again. You've got your anxiety. And it's like you don't feel good enough to be part of it. And if you've got that shame, you've got everything else, what do you go and do? You go and take the thing that makes you feel better, whether that's drink, whether that's alcohol, whether that's gambling, whether that's having a midnight haul on Shein. I don't know. You'll do all this shit to make yourself feel better. And
What
people
on
need
Shein?
Shein is clothes. I often write David when I'm a bit more like flush. I can't sleep, can I? I don't sleep. So I'll go on Shein and buy about 100 quid worth of shit. And
Okay, cool. I was trying to work out if it's some like fucking porn
no.
thing.
And the thing is, it's things that I absolutely need. Like I needed a jar of fucks apparently. Like, and that came. It's really cool. Like fucks that I don't give, and like I can give people
Big
a fuck.
bags of fucks to give.
Yeah.
All right.
that
So
I can
everyone
give
just pause for a second. Just stop the container and just take a temperature check of the container. What do you think the temperature of this container is at the moment? 10 being hotter than the sun, 0 being fucking colder than dry ice.
7.
6.
6,
8.
8.
No, I can't tell.
Natalie,
About a 7, I'd say.
Katie.
Yeah, 7.
All right, so it's going to the warm side. Yeah. Okay. So when a container moves to the warm side, what are the benefits we can get from that?
Passion.
Yeah, so I'm learning quite a lot from Ruth's passion and energy that's coming in here. Yeah, and I know that Katie has been and I hope I get the language right, Katie, but Katie has been really catered for in this training for us to meet Katie where she's at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like we're kind of practicing the conversation that needs to happen in organizations where the temperature around this stuff is fucking cold, frozen out. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep. And particularly I think I love having this as a practice space, or actually, you know, as you say, it can get quite hot and I can explore those issues, because actually what I want to do is I want to ring that professional worker up, call him a cunt and tell him to fuck off. But I know having this space, I can work it then properly to use it the correct way and actually get something from it that's useful, you know?
Okay. So Katie, I want you to put yourself in their position.
Mhm.
Yep. Was it a male?
Yes.
Yep. Working for a service.
Yes.
Yep. That's most probably got a huge caseload.
Yes.
Yeah, that gets people phoning him up all the time with complex needs, and they're most probably pretty burnt out and tired, and it's like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a human as well at the other end there. Okay. What happens to you now once we've acknowledged that?
I don't change my stance actually on it, because I mean I'm always aware. I like to think I'm always aware. I'm not perfect, but you know, I am aware of the pressures people are under. You know, I'm under pressure a lot of the time, and I get that, and I actually am probably usually more accommodating to think, okay, they've probably got stuff going on, you know, let's not go at it. But I've found that's often in my detriment, and actually I need to manage my expectations better, because actually people show you what sort of people they are. Without me, I understand the human element. I understand completely what you're saying, and I know how it is, but in
She's
my
just blowing
head,
smoke up my arse.
The thing is,
no, I'm
though,
not, because
Katie's going, you know, he's a fucking cunt. I'll put myself in his position, but fuck it. No, he's
I do put myself in
thing
his
is, though,
position, but I
David,
still think he's an arsehole.
guys, I got it. I got it. I got it. I've got it. I just want, as coaches working as systemic wellness within organizations, we need to have compassion for both sides. We've got to kind of look at where we might be colluding, aligning with. Yep. So in race work, yep, I always align with black people.
Yeah.
Yep. I always want to go, yeah, you see, you fucking radio, blah, 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 blah. And that doesn't help me. It doesn't help anyone. Yeah.
but show some firm education with that guy who's made Katie's lady feel the way she has. It needs to be explained to him, potentially in a firmer way, of his behaviour had a detrimental effect on her lady who she's looking after. Maybe not call him a cunt as much as you want to, because it is an awesome word, you know what I mean? But, you know, firmly say what you've done is now made her want to go home and have a drink or go home and take a substance. You you need to sort of watch how you're freaking speaking to people, and then call them a cunt under your breath.
Guys, I've got to go, David. I'll be back next week because it's going to
Oh,
take me
so
2
you're not
weeks.
really dedicated, huh?
Not very, no.
I'm just wondering if we upset him with the language.
No, not at all. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That's what kept me here longer. But no, I've got to go get my son. If I'm back early enough, I might jump on for the
No,
afternoon.
Bally, it's great. Listen, thank you for always showing up and bringing such wonderful contributions here as well.
No worries.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you saying that. Have a good week, everyone. See you next week.
All right, mate.
Take
Later.
care.
Bye.
I guess I've got to own a little bit as well, actually. I do like to reflect, because she also said when she was stumbling, exactly what you explained, Ruth, that stumbling over her words, it was an unexpected call, she didn't know what to say. She did say to him that Katie is happy to advocate for me when we have the appointment. You know, she can speak to you over the phone, talk a bit more about what we've been talking about. And he said that won't be necessary. So maybe there's a little bit of me that's going, what then? What? I'm not necessary. Do you know what I mean? So
Okay. So it's time for a break. Let's take a 10-minute break and then come back, and then today we'll finish at 5:30. All right.
I'll put
So
some more concealer on.
yeah. So Olivia
You want to
can
see
heal
what
her
don't
spot.
bathe.
I
Bless you.
God, that's a proper bumper.
know.
All right. See you guys at 3:00. 9 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. You put some concealer on.
No, I didn't. I have done before I came on the meeting.
Oh, bless you, honey.
Um,
That must have really hurt.
yeah, no, I didn't really. I just kind of went out, and then everybody in the shop were, "Ugh," and I was like, "Leave me alone, fine."
Oh, bless you.
I sent it to a picture of it to my daughters, and they're going, "How, mum?"
Sounds like my kids, they'd be the same.
Uh,
Okay, are we good to go? I'll try that again. Okay, are we good to go?
Yay!
Yay.
Hey, whoop, whoop. All right. So, David checking in. I'm looking forward to the last half an hour. I'm feeling tired. I'll tag Polka Dot. I mean Olivia.
I'm feeling shit now. No, I'm good. Apart from that, I'm good. I'm getting my hair done at 6 o'clock, and she just texts me. She said she feels sick. I'm like, "You're coming to do my hair. Paid for it." Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Hope you don't get sick having your hair done from someone who's sick. Who are you tagging?
Ruth.
Yeah, I'm good. Still the same as I was an hour ago. Katie.
Yeah, I've got renewed annoyance because I had more text messages during the break. And I'm a little bit self-conscious because I felt like I went on a lot in the first half. And I'm going to tag Natalie.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm getting a little bit tired. It's been a busy day, but I'm really enjoying the trade. So you haven't gone on too much. You've been quite good in what you're saying. It's relatable.
So where should we take the container now? Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm scared I'm going to, so I'm staying quiet now, David.
So Ruth, when will you feel your needs have been met, then that you feel heard?
Never did.
Yes, I know. When will you?
When I'm done what I'm doing, when I start everything up and I think it's starting to work.
Because it's a question I ask myself a lot. Like in the 90s, the way that drug addicts were treated is very, 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 very different to where it is now. There's a lot more love and care and compassion. Yeah. And even compared to 10 years ago, there's a lot of, oh shit, behave yourself. Here comes Daisy. Hey, Daisy.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Hello.
Daisy in the car.
Yep. Back again. Oh, God.
Good.
Okay.
How
There
are
we
you
go.
checking in, Daisy?
Good. I'm good. Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Have you found a house yet?
No, I saw 4 today so far. I've got another 2 to look at.
Jeez.
One of them I think I might put an offer in on. It's not in the perfect location, but it's a good house. It's got some potential and it's under budget. So
Is this your first house since being in recovery, or by yourself?
Yeah, it's my first purchase by myself. And I can't live with my mum anymore. I'm getting a bit desperate. I think I'm just gonna jump in and buy one so I can get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good to be like, because you can see how far you've come then by getting your own house. That's my goal one day.
All right, so let's update Daisy on where the container is. Who would like to do the update? Natalie, you can sit this one out. One of the other old timers here can do that. Right, this is going down well. Okay, who doesn't
Come on,
want to
tell me.
update Daisy?
I'm happy to update, but I was trying to sit back a little bit because I'm always talking, but I'm happy to do it. So the first half of the container, we was talking about IT, how some people find it difficult to navigate that. It's a different world today, but actually also finding the right motivation, because people can do things they maybe choose not to. So it's about walking alongside people and helping them rather than doing it for them. And we also talked a lot about that, about how you motivate people, finding the hooks to draw them in, to make them feel valued and empowered so that they want to do something to help. And then we spoke about neurodivergence. And I had a rant and swore a bit. And surprisingly enough,
Daisy, have you heard the term minimization?
No.
No, and actually that was really good because Ruth has a lot of experience in that, in the neurodiverse world, and making reasonable adjustments and actually realizing how difficult it is and how much of an impact people can have on people who are neurodivergent, you know, how it can actually send them into a spiral, something that I'm dealing with right now, which is why I'm pissed off and why I swore a lot. I sworded a lot.
You swore it.
So there was so yeah, there was quite a lot there, and we've just checked it.
Cool.
Anything else to add, Olivia, Ruth, or Natalie?
I've got a bump on my head.
What happened?
Oh, I just bashed it. I was picking up a pair of trainers, and where there were like, there were just trainers and there was like this ledge, and I kind of just slid along the ledge like that.
Not good.
Olivia's lying. She went to go pick up a cheap bottle of whiskey and
Yeah.
she hit her head. It was her higher power. And said, "What are you doing?" So she put it down and said, "Oh no,
I
I'm
think,
getting
yeah, I think my higher power was saying to me, Olivia, you can afford trainers, put them back.
Oh, okay. So it's a fucking complex world we live in, huh?
Yeah.
I was thinking this morning what it must be like for miners. Yep, and what mining towns were like, and how industry got turned. Why are you laughing?
I thought you meant minors as in like under 18s. That's all. And then you
No.
meant actually minors.
Yeah, no, not pedophile conversation, Daisy, please. Jesus Christ, you lot, honestly. and how industry has changed in this country, and how this country makes wealth or doesn't make wealth, and what would have happened in mining towns when miners were there and there was poor performance in the workplace. Because if you fired someone in the workplace, then you're essentially firing someone's son, yeah, whose relatives had most probably worked in the mine, or yeah, whose family had worked. And I can imagine the dynamics were very enmeshed. Yeah. And I was thinking about that mining disaster in Wales. What was it called? Where the coal slag heap went and took out all those kids in that town and killed all those kids in Wales.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
Can't remember. I think I've been there, but I can't remember what it's called.
So what you're saying is Leros are very similar to mining towns.
Fuck, am I?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
think so because they are so enmeshed. You know, we found this within Raw, that we are so enmeshed with each other in our own recoveries and in that space. So actually, if someone is, for example, sacked, there are wider ramifications. It is like a family. So actually it is like that, I think.
Okay, I get that. Now I can see that.
Mm.
But the difference is miners would get paid. Yeah, there was economics to it.
Mm.
Yeah, whereas with Leros, very few people get paid. People are doing this because they're motivated. And because people aren't being paid, it can be quite difficult to hold people to account when they don't do a good job. And people can then turn around and say, well, fuck, I'm just volunteering here anyway. Nobody's paying me.
We don't experience that much, I have to say. Obviously, stop grinning, Daisy.
Mhm.
Usually if people commit, they keep with that commitment, or they just don't overcommit. Do you know what I mean? We don't.
So what is it about your culture that does that well then?
Ooh,
I imagine it's your onboarding.
I think so. I think so. And I think it is that everyone is seen and heard across the board. I think that's what makes the difference. Yeah, that's what I'd like to say anyway. Seen, heard, supported, empowered, motivated, and all of those wonderful words. Plus, they get to wear these lovely jazzy orange jumpers too. So that's got to be a pull, hasn't it?
I did it for the jumper. All right. So, Natalie, what's your takeaway from this class being your first class?
I've really enjoyed it, and I think when Katie said she was really annoyed about how much the man had upset a lady, and you said there's another person on the end of that. I totally agree with that, but also his actions has now ruined someone else's day. So we could all be having a bad day, but we could also ruin someone else's day. And I think to be mindful of either side of that, like, you know, if someone is a bit snappy or a bit disrespectful, maybe they are having a bad day, and that's not fair on you to be on the receiving end of that. But like, compassion comes from like both sides, and I think he's had a massive knock on to your lady today, and then to you.
Have any of you ever been arrested?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so I got picked up a couple of times in Hackney, and in the charge office, they'd write a statement, and the words that they wrote down were politically correct. The manner that they delivered them was disgusting. Yeah. So there's often a big gap between the written word and the emotion that goes with it. Like if people were to take just a transcript of this class and the language that was used, and they read it in a court of law, it would be taken very much out of context for the spirit that it was delivered in. Would you agree with me there? Yeah. So we must be very careful as well that policy doesn't destroy the spirit of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So this morning's class was about being trauma informed. What does trauma informed mean? So for me, after this class, listening to Ruth's passion has made me more aware of how fucking unconscious I was to how traumatic it can be for neurodiversity. Ruth's voice has woken me up to a part of the house where the lights were off. Does that make sense? It's like, oh, fuck, there's a room there. Yeah. And it was a bit like when Katie, when we first started, the message was, can you guys adjust the training for Katie and her needs, wants, desires? Can you help create the best learning space for Katie? Yeah. And we were able to adjust that, but we were only able to adjust that when we had an understanding and a willingness to try and cater for the otherness. Another example of that is when the container starts, people can just come and arrive and sit in. And it's created like that because in Africa, you start a class at a certain time, but not everyone can arrive at the classroom at a certain time because it's so hard to get somewhere. So instead of us fucking shitting on people that are late and re-traumatizing them, the container has adapted to be welcoming, and you still get people coming and go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm not. We're just kind of, welcome, you fucking made it, brilliant. And to then dance the chaos around that. And it's quite difficult for outsiders to understand what the fuck we're doing here and the method and the madness behind it. Does that make sense to everyone? Because I thought it was fucking deep.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, it does make sense. Maybe deep's going a little bit far.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, all right. That was like a puddle. And Olivia was somewhere else. She's just thinking, fuck, I'm going for holiday. Is my hair going to be done? She's texting her hairdresser there. Fucking. All right. Let's start the checkout.
Can I just ask Reed something? Because I've been thinking, my son is really struggling to do reading. Do you think then that coloured paper that you put over the words, do you think that's a good thing to kind of getting involved in?
Is he been said he's dyslexic?
He went to somebody up in Harley Street with his dad when his dad had him because his behaviour changed once he moved in with his dad. But I was thinking it was more the emotional state because of what happened, the trauma that happened, and the adjustment. But
I didn't see your son in Harley Street, did I?
no.
Oh.
But the lady said that he's showing signs of ADHD and maybe autism, but he's like, that was just one lady that diagnosed him that, and she didn't speak to me or any other family or the school. So I was a little bit like, I'm not too sure about that diagnosis. I'd like the school to get involved and stuff like that.
So do you know I said earlier about the 6 different things that come under that neurodivergent umbrella? They always said if you've got one, you're more than likely to have another one as well. So if he's shown traits of ADHD and autism, it's quite likely he does have dyslexia as well.
Yeah.
There's many different coloured papers you can get, and it works differently for each person. I'm not entirely sure how it all works, but you can actually get a pack of it off Amazon, each colour that actually will work.
Okay.
So just put in there coloured paper for dyslexia, and you'll get a lot of different ones. Not that expensive either.
Yeah.
And you can just try each one and see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
It's okay. Hope it works.
We're reading the news next week.
All right, Olivia, start the checkout. What's your takeaway other than getting coloured paper off at Amazon?
I know that the unit that I work in, volunteering, they don't have anything about neurodivergence there. And the next meeting, I'm going to bring it up and say, does anybody have this, like class or groups about this? And see what they say about that. So I'm going to take that away with me and bring it to them and see what they say.
Who are you tagging?
Natalie.
I'm taking away, I think, just a bit of a reminder to be mindful of other people and their feelings. And if, say, you're on the receiving end of somebody, it's probably not personal. I think it's good to remember that, not take it to heart sometimes. But, yeah,
Which is very
been really
difficult when
interesting.
organisations are driven by passion.
Yeah.
Who are you tagging, Natalie?
Ruth.
Yeah, I'm checking out. Happy. More informed again. Seem to be getting more informed every time I'm coming to one of these sessions. Lots of interesting chat, especially on the IT and failing to give thing over. That's a control thing. I've definitely known that we've done that in the past. So thank you. It's been a cool session. I am going to tag Daisy. Maybe not. She's driving.
No, I just needed to unmute. It's all good. I am checking out feeling good. It's nice to come and listen to the container. Yeah. I don't know. I think I missed quite a lot, so I didn't maybe take that much away from today. But I like being here. So yeah, and I will tag Katie, and I will concentrate on driving.
Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I'm taken away. Oh, she's still going. I do. You cut out then, Dave. Yeah, I'm taken away. I like to think I'm quite informed. We have quite a few neurodivergent people amongst our volunteers, and I take the lead from them on how we work with them and what they need. But I think, Ruth, you really highlighted some stuff of how distracting, how disturbing, and how much that those feelings can continue. So that was really helpful. I'm feeling I'm a little bit silly, giggly, mischievous. Maybe it's because I've got all my swearing out that I now feel a bit silly. And that is now a problem because I've got to interview someone shortly and try and be half sensible. I mean, it never really happens, but try and be half sensible. But as always, so grateful for this space to be able to say what I need to say. I appreciate it. Really do. Thank you. Back to you, David.
Cool. Right, I check out. Yeah, I'm fatigued. It's been a long day. Yeah. Thank you all for your time. Daisy and Katie, have we decided on a date for the advisors meeting?
I
If
don't
so,
think it's finalised yet, is it? No.
okay, please let me know as soon as possible so I can block it out and not catch a plane to Africa or something like last time. Okay. All right, everyone. Lots of love. And listen, well done for everything you guys do out in the world. Really well done. Bye.
And you. And you.